The second and third members of the party arrived. They did not come together, and what seemed peculiar to the manager was that they were evidently strangers to one another. The leading one, a tall, gaunt man with a ragged beard and a pair of piercing eyes, asked in a nasal and by no means an inaudible tone for room X. As he spoke, a little fat man who was standing just behind him started perceptibly and shot a bird-like glance at the speaker. Then, in exorable French, he too asked for room X. "He's not French," said the secretary excitedly to the manager as the ill-assorted pair were led out of the lounge by the head waiter. "That last one was another Boche." The manager thoughtfully twirled his pince-nez between his fingers. "2 Germans and an American." He looked a little apprehensive. "Let us hope the dinner will appease everybody. Otherwise—" But whatever fears he might have entertained with regard to the furniture in room X, they were not destined to be uttered. Even as he spoke, the door swung open again, and a man with a thick white scarf around his neck, so pulled up as almost completely to cover his face, came in. A soft hat was pulled down well over his ears, and all that the manager could swear to as regards the newcomer's appearance was a pair of deep-set, steel-grey eyes which seemed to bore through him. "You got my letter this morning." "Monsieur le Comte de Guy." The manager bowed deferentially and rubbed his hands together. "Everything is ready, and your 3 guests have arrived." "Good. Now we'll go to the room at once." The maître d'hôtel stepped forward to relieve him of his coat, but the Count waved him away. "I will remove it later," he remarked shortly. "Take me to the room." As he followed his guide, his eyes swept round the lounge. Save for 2 or 3 elderly women of doubtful nationality, and a man in the American Red Cross, the place was deserted, and as he passed through the swing doors, he turned to the head waiter. "Business good?" he asked. No, business decidedly was not good. The waiter was voluble. Business had never been so poor in the memory of man, but it was to be hoped that the dinner would be to Monsieur le Comte's liking. He personally had superintended it, also the wines. "If everything is to my satisfaction, you will not regret it," said the Count tersely. "But remember one thing. After the coffee has been brought in, I do not wish to be disturbed under any circumstances whatever." The head waiter paused as he came to a door, and the Count repeated the last few words. "Under no circumstances whatever." "Mais certainement, Monsieur le Comte. I personally will see to it." As he spoke, he flung open the door, and the Count entered. It cannot be said that the atmosphere of the room was congenial. The 3 occupants were regarding one another in hostile silence, and as the Count entered, they with one accord transferred their suspicious glances to him. For a moment he stood motionless, while he looked at each one in turn. Then he stepped forward. "Good evening, gentlemen." He still spoke in French. "I am honoured at your presence." He turned to the head waiter. "Let dinner be served in 5 minutes exactly." With a bow, the man left the room and the door closed. "During that 5 minutes, gentlemen, I propose to introduce myself to you and you to one another." As he spoke, he divested himself of his coat and hat. "The business which I wish to discuss we will postpone, with your permission, till after the coffee, when we shall be undisturbed." In silence, the 3 guests waited while he unwound the thick white muffler. Then, with undisguised curiosity, they studied their host. In appearance he was striking. He had a short dark beard, and in profile his face was aquiline and stern. The eyes which had so impressed the manager seemed now to be a cold grey blue. The thick brown hair, flecked slightly with grey, was brushed back from a broad forehead. His hands were large and white, not effeminate, but capable and determined. The hands of a man who knew what he wanted, knew how to get it, and got it. To even the most superficial observer, the giver of the feast was a man of power, a man capable of forming instant decisions and of carrying them through.